what can happen is if it's too full, it can definitely, if that was full up with beeswax, when it gets hot, it expands, and then something boiling over, right? Or not boiling, it's just, it's fat,
Just boiling.
yeah. So I heat up about that much, an inch, 3/4 inch to an inch. A little bit above non-magnetic, like that, right there. I'm gonna take and I'm gonna quench half of that. And I'll move it up and down, around a little bit, up and down. And then what I'll do is I'm gonna look till that goes away and I'm gonna quench again. Now I'm gonna get me a brush, you know, and make sure you're ready before, you know, I'm ready. I've done this before. And I'll brush, and I look, okay, when it gets, before it gets to blue, you put it back. So you might not want to brush that time, not with oil. Now I want to brush again. I can have more time. See the blue? Before it gets the blue up there, I'm going to quench that part of this, that section. I draw to straw like I would a center punch. Because I use this for cold and hot steel. Blue is okay, but straw is just, look at the books. You know, straw for center punch.
You want straw always to fit?
Yeah, well, you don't want blue, you don't want gray. You don't want to lose your temper. Gray loses your temper. And you know, I'll look at light too. But see, it's way down here. It slows down. The first two ones, when you're doing oil, you really, if you brush like that, you've lost your temper. Well, do it again, okay? And yeah, see, it's all straw here. Right down here, it's the blues and purples, the dark straw, light straw. It's getting slow. They get wider bands. I'm gonna go ahead and arrest the temper. So I need, that's why, you know, if you had a deeper buzz, or you know, put that up, I can arrest that temper faster because right now, and I'll show you, I'm only able to go so deep, and I'll go ahead, and you can feel that skate. You hear that skate right through there, and you can, you know, like you got a file or a stone, you can scratch the surface, and then basically there's not enough heat in here doing it this way because I put it all the way where the red stuff was. So that's what I call arresting the temper. Now the way the books tell you to do is you heat up, they hit more of that little thing. And then they quench the whole thing in oil, and then they polish it, you know, where they expose it, and then they'll put it this way and draw a temper with backwards there. Mm-hmm. Well, that takes a long time. I used to be a working blacksmith, and when I need a punch, I need it now. That's probably all I should tell you about. You can do it by the book. It's safe. You can do it. If you do it by heat treating methods, you're not going to get as hard. If you just go to non-magnetic, I go beyond. With 5160 also. And I do something that they say you shouldn't do. So I'm going to go ahead and tell you. And it's, I don't suggest you do it because most people aren't going to do what I say. They're going to do what they think I said. And then you're going to break it. But I use water, and I never see anyone do that. But I didn't have any books, you know. And I heard that, you know, if you do 5160, it can explode. Well, I never seen that. But even if you quench the whole thing, if you quench the whole heat on 5160, it will break this away. If you quench the whole heat on 4140, it will break this away in water.
Okay.
But if you do it like I just showed you in oil, where you quench half of it and keep drawing temperature until it doesn't draw anymore or gets so slow, like watching grass grow almost, rest of the temper, you're fine. And I never saw anyone else or heard anyone talk about it. So I went to Czech Republic. That's how the Hobbermans are doing. They make them out of spoil spring. You know, from generations. You know, and nowadays it's 5160 generally. Back then, 1080, I think. But they always did water, and they do it the same exact way. So don't believe everything in here. Don't believe me. Try things out. And one main thing, this is slower. So if I had the whole bucket full, I can at least arrest it to the temperature of whatever the oil heats up. You know, and we might. If you guys are going to do this, I would get that bucket and, you know, don't do your birthday prayer. That's for the hammer glasses and the knife maybe. But that right there, you know, don't overfill oil. And yeah, it can flame if it gets hot. The punches are probably not going to be too bad, you know what I mean?
We can put it out.
But
Leave it in the oil and it won't flame up.
you might want to put it in a location where, you know, with these gas wood, it doesn't matter whatever's in there, you're not going to burn up. You just watch it and just keep it right there, and everyone can do the same thing in there instead of moving that hot. It'll get hot. You don't want to move hot oil around the shop. You know. And if it does flame, if you have a lid, if there's a lid of steel, he's not even listening. If there's a lid, you can put it out with a lid. We bought them for his birthday the other day. John's birthday the other day, by the way. And,
Every day.
we bought him brand new peanut oil and one of those buckets you can snuff, you know, oil out with. I see them in the shops and stuff. And it's nice. You don't want to dump over a flaming bucket of oil with it.
We'll do the heat treat on the back forge
Yeah.
and just put the oil by the back over there. And, do, you know, whoever has one cleaned up and wants to heat treat, do it.
Now, when this gets to a hot potato stage, I don't mind pulling the whole thing off of water, no matter how I heat treat. But do not, with certain metals, do not cool off until it's like you can do a hot potato. And we'll find out about that pretty soon. You guys ever play hot potato?
That is 5160, right?
This is 4140.
That's 4140?
Yeah, 5160 does the same thing. It's just a little tougher. I prefer 5160 for certain tools. 4140 though is acceptable for them all. And there's one benefit over 5160 of 4140, and that's when you strike the end, when it work hard, and when it also mushroom, it's less likely to tear or crack the struck in like 5160 would split. And if that happens, you know, if you don't maintain your punch and put it back where it came from and then grind whatever falls off, well, your life of your punch is not going to live as much. It is a little tougher for chiseling, real small punches, you know. But most of these are 4140. There's some 5160, and if you want a really good chisel or punch, use the Atlantic 33 if you can get it. The Flutagon, you know.